What's up, guys? Grab that coffee out. We're heading toward fourth quarter. This is the AMZ Secret Show and your host, David Aladdin. We're live at the International Command Center, Outpost 44, Podcast 44. I built the show to jump past the basics and into the front lines of Amazon. Let's be the Elon Musk of Amazon. Let's be visionaries. Let's push ourselves to hit our limits and exceed our own expectations. I look to understand the person, their strategies, their secrets, so that all of us can build leaner and better businesses. Today's sponsor is amzsecrets.com, Keyword King, a new tool inside of our VIP platform that allows our community to create the most powerful, relevant keyword combinations while filling the 5,000 character allowable in your Amazon backend, thus giving you more relevant traffic and ultimately more sales per day. And also, a big announcement coming soon. And today we've got a special guest on the show. His name is John Bullard Sr., who started out with $500 in capital and built a multi-million-dollar business selling on Amazon. He co-founded Major Associates, my inventory team, my fulfillment team. He hosts his own webinar show called the Pro Seller Talk into 2016. Great to have you on the show, John. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Hey, David. Yeah, I'm a family man. I have two children. They're both grown up. They're both in the business with us. They both work in the fulfillment side of the business. My son does his own developing. He makes Google Chrome extensions and other things. He's into that type of stuff too. So yeah, I've been basically in the wholesale closeout type business for over 30 years. Been to lots of trade shows, have a lot of knowledge on how to work trade shows and how to work with vendors and how to get the best pricing and just a lot of things and a lot of tips and techniques to be able to share with others to teach them so they don't have to have so much of a learning curve.
Awesome. Do you know that any names of the Google Chrome extensions he came out of? Just out of curiosity.
We have a couple that's a review one, and we also have one called Stock Check.
Oh, so he builds them in related to your business.
No, they're out in the market right now. They're in the Google Chrome store.
Very cool. Okay.
And one of them, like I said, is called Stock Check. Very cool thing. It goes into Amazon. It allows you to not only check stock levels. You don't have to punch in $9.99 and see how many Amazon has, but it also does one other thing. It'll actually take and tabulate how many items are on Amazon, up to 1,000 per person. So on the front page, it'll tabulate everything to let you know if there's 1,500 items on Amazon total or whatever it is.
Wait, are you saying it can understand if there's more than 999 items?
It can't understand more than that, but a lot of times if Amazon's not on the listing, it'll give you everything that's on the listing. Like it might say one seller has 300, another one has 45.
Oh, I see. Okay. I actually do the manual process, so this might be pretty useful.
Yeah, it saves you a lot of time because when you go into purchasing, you're looking to buy things. It just helps you with that buying decision. Like, you might see something on Amazon that's got a rank of 2,000, but if you have this tool, instead of you searching to see how many products are there, right away in an instant, it's going to give you your information and saying, wow, there's 1,000 out there, and Camel says it's only selling 500 a year. May not be a good buy.
Mm-hmm. And you always have that risk of hitting 999 and checking out. I haven't done that, but I'm sure like there's someone that has done that and spent like 15 grand on a mistake. But anyways, let's go into before we go too far. Let's talk more about how you got into, because I know you run a very big warehouse. Let's talk about what you did before that and then what led up to that.
Well, I've been in the corporate world in sales for a long time, commission sales, and I also was a manager of a multi-million-dollar showroom up in Connecticut, where we were from, and then we moved down to Tennessee. So I've had a lot of knowledge of the retail side of it. So it was real easy for me to come into the side of the wholesale and closeout business because I've already been dealing with managers and and vendors and stuff like that at the furniture stores and places that I've worked. So it was kind of an easy step up for me to do that.
What year was that?
That was back in, God, that had to be in the 90s. I would say that I started being in the corporate world in the early 90s, probably, when I first started that. But I've been actually doing entrepreneurial type stuff for about 30 years. I still did it part-time while I was still working full-time.
Very cool. Okay, then what got you to... Because you have like a ton of related Amazon businesses. The one that piques my interest is actually the warehouse that you started. How much square footage is that currently?
We have we have over 40,000 square feet.
Holy cow. That's a
And,
lot.
and we have another one that's right down the road that we've just made a commitment to. That's 75,000 square feet.
Okay, so you're about to triple your warehouse inventory within the next
Yeah.
year?
And how it started, it's funny because we've been selling on Amazon, like every other person that starts on Amazon. We did merchant fulfilled for a while. And then when Amazon decided to go FBA, that's when we exploded. We filled, rooms in my own home. And then my wife got tired of it. So then we rented a 5,000 square foot warehouse and started putting our product in there.
And that
And
should have
then
been big enough there.
yeah, well, it really wasn't because it got to the point
No, I
where
know.
we were growing so fast. But then how my fulfillment team came aboard is basically, and my inventory team came aboard. My inventory team came aboard because we were getting so much product and we wanted to share it with people and give them the opportunity to buy things at lower pricing that they couldn't get if they were buying it by the case or buying ones or twos or things like that. So we wanted to really share that. And that started to take off. And then once we did that, I decided that, you know what, why don't we start helping sellers on the other side? Maybe they don't want to buy product from me all the time because not everybody likes what I get, and I get that. But everybody needs a place to be able to have their products prepped. And a lot of the people live in apartments or live overseas and they can't get, the service to be able to take and just send it straight into Amazon. So they need a fulfillment center. So that's when I decided to make my fulfillment team, we really started to blossom. We went from 5,000 square feet in that year to the very next year. We took over this 40,000 square foot warehouse. I did not, in my imagination, my wildest dreams, think that I would fill that in 9 months. We filled a 40,000 square foot warehouse in approximately 9 months. Now we've been here.
What year was that?
We did that back in, this is 2016, so we took the warehouse in, our smaller warehouse in 2012, and then we moved in 2013 to the one we're in now, and we've kind of exploded it. And I think
That's awesome.
the other reason why we've grown so much is because we're not only, we're like the grandfather of fulfillment centers. We started before anybody. We were the ones that put out all this stuff for FBA before anybody even thought about doing it. I was on Jim Cochran's conference in CES 1 when I spoke, and I basically told everybody what I did. And the next thing I know, all these fulfillment centers are exploding everywhere. So
Do you think that was a mistake or no?
I think God leads us, and I don't think there are any mistakes. I think that
Agreed, yeah.
he takes care of me and provides for me, so I really don't worry about those things. But the one thing that we did do is we keep growing and we keep changing with the times. And now, not only do we do fulfillment for Amazon, we also have accomplished and taken over Amazon's long-term storage program where we charge 50 cents a cubic foot to keep it here. There is no 6-month storage fee or there is no year storage fee. There's no long-term storage fees whatsoever. We don't believe in that. I think that's just a way for Amazon to make a lot of money. So we don't do that. We also have branched out recently in the last 2 months, and we're very excited about this. And everything we do is through software. It's not through Google Docs like some of these other fulfillment companies use. We use our own software that was designed and built for our clients. And we now have, through our own software, e-commerce. So we can ship anywhere, Shopify, eBay, anywhere. As long as it's got an ASIN and it can be listed on Amazon.com, we don't care where you want to sell it. You can sell it on eBay, your own website, China, Japan, Mexico, Canada. We can fulfill it and send it in.
Interesting. Okay. I noticed that you're from Tennessee, correct?
Yes, now I am, not originally.
In respect to Tennessee, how much does like a warehouse like that cost per month, or do you own it?
We lease it, and it depends. You can get them pretty much
Yeah. Go ahead.
You could probably get a 40,000 square foot warehouse, depending on where you are too in Tennessee. It makes a difference, but you're probably looking about 15,000.
Okay, that's cool. Just out of on a side note, I was actually like looking for a warehouse, and I'm also looking to buy a house at the moment as well. And the cool thing like with my location is they actually have these warehouses in the backyards of some of these houses. And I saw this it was like a 16-car garage. I'm like, dude, that's perfect. But it's a bit out of my price range. But not that I'm trying to start a competitive FBA warehouse system like you have. But what would you? Okay, let's go into the air conditioning because you were talking about that earlier, um, before the show. Uh, so I'm guessing your warehouse does not have air conditioning, and that's why you guys work at night.
That's why we work, from 5 in the morning till 1:30 in the afternoon is because of the heat here. First of all, you can't put air conditioning. There's no way. I mean, I got too many overhead loading doors that the air would just go right out. It wouldn't even make sense. So
How many overhead doors does a 40,000 square foot warehouse have?
we probably have at least 9, I think.
There's something cool about just warehouses. Like I like looking at them. I don't know. I think like I was looking at your website. I think you guys should have like either live footage from it or just like pictures of like you guys in action. It's just always cool to like see that kind of stuff. And a lot of like us smaller entrepreneurs like to, hopefully we'll have like some type of warehouse one day or a fulfillment channel that serves us in that.
Yeah,
One of
we
the
do.
live, by the way, we're live right now. One of the live viewers asked what your website was. It's if you want to answer that.
Okay, sure. Um, the other, yeah, while we're talking, the other thing is we do show pictures of the outside of our warehouse, and this is very important. We have not let any sellers or anybody that sells Amazon inside the interior of our warehouse for the integrity of our clients. We will not let somebody come in here to drop off product or even to come in to want to tour the warehouse just to see how our warehouse runs because we want to make sure first and foremost that we're protecting our clients' products and their confidentiality of what they found. I have a lot of people here that do private label, and I don't think they would want somebody coming in here finding out that there's private label products in here and giving them ideas. So
True,
that's
true.
one of the things that we do is we do protect the confidentiality of our clients.
Let's go back when you had that 5,000 square foot warehouse. What kind of tools did you have then? Uh, Especially if someone is considering, having their own mini warehouse. What would you recommend?
Not really had very many tools. I mean, other than computers,
Hmm.
you have to have a computer. We had to use, if you're starting out, we had scan guns to go out and scan because remember we were prepping back then too for our own selves. But there wasn't really many tools. We did everything through email communication of what was needed for the client as far as their inventory, getting it back to them, and also for anything as far as box counts or labels or anything that we had to do, we communicated through just regular email. So that's how we got started. I've spent $150,000 easy on software now that does it all. The client just has to go into Amazon and put the identification in there and then carry the MSKU over to my software, and they're basically done. They don't have to worry about anything else.
That's awesome. All right, let's talk about the warehouse you're in currently. It's well, you have the 40,000 warehouse. Is the 75,000 warehouse that's coming soon? Is that near your other location?
Yeah, it's 5 minutes down the road.
Oh, that's cool. Are you gonna have like a little bus system? No.
I'm,
uh,
I'm not. I'm not sure if We're really busting out on the storage side because people are taking advantage of getting their things out of Amazon and liking the fact that they can get them here, and
mhm.
liking the fact that we do e-commerce. We don't have any kind of weight-based fees or pick and pack fees or the other fees that Amazon wants to hit you with. So people like that, and even though the shipping may not be the same shipping rates that Amazon gets, getting it to their clients within one day, getting it shipped out within that day, or if nothing else by the second day early, is huge because we're turning over the product, especially on the e-commerce side, very, very quickly.
Okay, let's talk more about that. Are you shipping via Prime? Do you guys have that ability to do that?
No,
You have to.
no.
Are you sending it to Amazon and then Amazon's taking it? Is that kind of?
No, we're on the e-commerce side. We're actually doing the shipping through UPS, FedEx, or the post office with the rates that we get. There's nothing we can't get Amazon rates for that because the only way you can join their program on that side, on the merchant fulfilled, is if you're able to reach the United States, all corners within 2 days, and from Tennessee to California or out to Seattle, Washington, with UPS ground, the way they ship is not going to get there in 2 days. It's just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Okay.
And
What about? Okay, go ahead.
as far as your own question about FBA, we go through everything that's charged from the shipping part goes through Amazon's partner rates, so it's going right through the client's actual seller accounts. We have nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what about your thoughts on fulfillment by robots? Because Amazon's moving in that direction. Are you planning on doing anything in that regard, or?
I believe that human beings need to have jobs, and I don't believe in having robots do them. I just think that, I don't know, that's a sore subject for me. I want to continue to create jobs, and I think that having robots, that's just like you go into grocery stores now and they have the self-checkouts. I don't believe in those either.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay. We don't have to talk about the sore subjects. Sorry about that. All right. So
No, that's fine.
is one of the cool things I found out is some FBA warehouses actually, based on your location, the cost to get to the FBA warehouse is actually cheaper. So is there a FBA warehouse near your location that allows you guys to deliver pretty quick, or is it just you found like a industrial area and you decide to move there?
I don't think there's anything quick, because I think even if you live next to the FBA warehouse, they're going to assign it wherever they want to assign it, because Amazon sets everything up geographically for their clients, not for necessarily where you want the product to go. And one of the huge things that Amazon just recently just posted about is the commingling thing, which I can't stand commingling. I just don't like it. But what they're trying to do is cleverly have things go all over the country and be there. But if you sell something in Tennessee and it's not, your product's not in Tennessee, they'll take somebody else's product in Tennessee and actually give it to that client and kind of fill yours from. So they're kind of borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, but I don't like that idea for the same reason is that my product could have went in brand new condition, and the person that they gave, the customer that got the product may have got it from somebody else with a commingling setup, and it may not be in the same condition. So it's very, very risky in my opinion.
Yeah, I've read some blogs where people have gone suspended or banned for commingling. Just, I don't know. But okay, so the reason why I asked that question was because I actually ship directly to a warehouse in California, which then is like right next to an FBA fulfillment center, and I always notice that it goes right into FBA pretty quick. But when I ship out of Florida, it goes all the way up to Chicago, and that takes about 7 days. So to get in, and right now it's like backed up over in the Joliet warehouse. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that. It's kind of annoying. Go ahead.
Yeah, they like I said, there's no rhyme or reason. Even if you do their preferred shipping with Amazon, where you pay that little premium that they want, 20 cents, 30 cents. I think it's even more now per unit, and depending on if it's small or large, it's going to be even more. Where you can have it all go to one general Amazon warehouse. Even when it gets there, if Amazon decides that they want to take and move it to another warehouse, you have no control. Yes, you don't pay. Here's the key. You don't pay to have it moved to another warehouse, but you suffer because your items are in limbo until they reach that other warehouse and get checked in. So if you're selling something that you have a lot of competition on, you want to get it and get it out and get it to the market and sell it as quickly as possible. You don't want your items sitting there and being in transit going from one warehouse to another. So you're better off just having it go wherever Amazon tells you to go, so that you have the best opportunity once it gets there to sell, and it's not being moved all over the place.
That's so true. I actually kind of found this like cool. I don't know if it's a secret, but the more units you actually have in inventory, the more it's displaced around the U.S. So you have pockets of units all around the U.S. versus like if you're trying to, keep some inventory in cold stock where it's not in the FBA fulfillment center system, and you have all your units in FBA or most of them or a good amount, you give the opportunity for Amazon to fulfill you via 1 day shipping versus 2 days, or sometimes, even though they say Prime Day 2 day shipping, have you noticed that it's more than 2 days?
Oh yeah, it's definitely more than 2 days depending on where it is in the country.
Yeah, it's like if someone ordered it from, California and your units were in Chicago, so it takes time to.
Exactly.
What do you have any fears about having two warehouses in two different locations, or having to commute between the two, or what's your strategy there?
What I love about that is my software can handle all the logistics of it, so it's really taking care of everything as far as the organizing of where the product is. I mean, in a moment's time, we know where the product is and location. And like I said, the second warehouse will probably end up being for our storage side, because our storage side is just blowing up. I mean, when we announced that we were going to take storage here at 50 cents a cubic foot for our clients, and they don't have to worry about Amazon charging them those 6-month fees or having it for 12 months. They can buy in quantity and store it here. And if you think about 50 cents a cubic foot per month is very minimal charge to have something stored here. Even if you had a piece and it cost you 8 cents, in 6 months' time it cost you 48 cents, but 6 months from now that thing came on the market where it's hot and you made a lot of money off of it, you're willing to have it sit for those 6 months. So it gives sellers a bigger opportunity to not worry about getting their product out within 6 to 12 months in Amazon.
What's the, I don't know if you have this number at the top of your head, what's Amazon's cost per cubic foot?
I think it's 61 cents right now.
So you guys got them beat by 11 cents.
But we also got them beat because their 6-month thing is $11 and their 1-year thing is $22. I just think that's astronomical, and we don't charge either or.
So that's good to know. I didn't even know their 6-month penalty. I just make sure I try not to hit that. I haven't hit that limit yet, but there's always that chance I could. Okay, so what do you see yourself going in? Do you think you're going to fill that 75K square footage?
If I want to. I think I could fill it in a day if I want to.
Out of curiosity, do you have like your own trucks that move between, or do you completely...
As far as logistics?
Yeah.
We do have trucks that can move it.
That's awesome. You got a lot of equipment.
Yeah. It's only 5 minutes up the road. I'll take a forklift to drive the pallet.
Dude, I actually, sometimes you see like people just doing the forklift.
Yeah.
Now I know who those people are.
Yeah, this is Tennessee. Nothing to surprise you.
It doesn't, yeah. Anything flies. Okay, so let's talk about your Amazon side of the business. Do you still run Amazon listings, or are you fully fulfillment now?
No, we still run Amazon, but we're about 80% private label. That's what we've, once we went into private label, our business just took off.
Interesting. And you said you started off with $500 initially. You must have had some breakthroughs along the way.
This is the key to that, and your listeners want to pay real good attention to this and how it worked out. Now, this is when we started 4 years ago in FBA, and I don't know today, there's a lot more competition out there in FBA, and there's a lot more things you should be doing, even with retail arbitrage, as far as bundling and just thinking out of the box to keep Amazon off your listings. But back when I did it, $500 was my seed money. What I did is I took $500, I invested $500 every single month for a year. So I invested $6,000 whether I had a sale or not. So basically I took that $500 and I took also my profits, whatever my profits were, and put it back in. So by month 6, I was probably putting $15,000 back into the business because I was taking the profits and I was taking the money that I had, the seed money. And even though I had $10,000 in profits, I would take $10,000 plus $500. So every month that $500 got added regardless. And by the end of the first year, we did over $250,000 in sales.
That's awesome.
And that was just starting out with an initial investment of $500. Can it be done now? I think it can. I think it's just a little bit, you have to be a little bit more creative. I think that, retail arbitrage is just so competitive right now. And yes, you can do it, but your margins have to be closer than where they were before. And if you get into bundling and things like that, and you start getting on Amazon and you start looking at things that make sense, like people that buy this also buy this, or people that buy this also look at this, and you start getting a hold of those wholesalers and start putting things together, you're going to find out real quickly that you can create some really good bundles, and nobody's going to be on those bundles. Now, the secret of creating bundles, to me, is that you don't buy your bundle from one supplier. You buy your bundle from several different suppliers. So you might buy one item here, one from another one from another one. Well, what does that do? That takes the lazy seller out of the picture, because they're not going to go and find all 3 suppliers. They're just not going to do it. If they can't get it and sell it quickly, they don't want it. They're going to move on.
Okay, so basically you start off with $500 per month. You started reinvesting it, all the money that you got in return, and you kept on putting the $500 in. So basically, you just had this business aside from all the other assets that you had, and you just kept on reinvesting into it. Um, what pitfalls did you have when? Did you
Yes.
have any type of products that failed, and what'd you do then?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anybody that's selling that says they've had home runs with everything is lying. It just don't happen. You're going to have pitfalls, and that's what I'm saying. The learning curve. Learn from us that are out there and that have been through those tough times and have learned from them, and it kind of can help you, guide you, so that you don't make those same mistakes. And what I mean by that is, when I started getting that big money and starting to sell, I seen an item that was, ranked really well on Amazon back then, and I would go out and say, okay, give me 300 of them. Well, as soon as I bought those 300 and got them into Amazon, Amazon decided to come in at a price that was lower than what I bought them at, and I got hung with them. So what did I do? I liquidate them I leave them there, see if Amazon's going to run out of stock. If they don't, I liquidate them, try not to take a major loss, get my money back, and move on to something else. So at a certain point in time, especially with Amazon's 6 month long-term storage fee now, you got to look at between 3 to 5 months. If your product can't sell within 3 to 5 months, in that fourth to fifth month, you need to be liquidating and moving on. Get your money back, recoup what you can, and get another item in there that'll do well for you. And you got to wash, rinse, and repeat all the time, that system.
What do you see as the best way to liquidate items? What techniques are you using?
A lot of times I just drive the price down on Amazon and if other
I
sellers
see,
want to
yeah.
buy it,
Huh.
if other sellers want to do that, or I'll have them when Amazon has that free get them out of their warehouse thing. I'll bring them back here. You can bring them to storage. I mean, not storage, to liquidation, like auctions and stuff like that. And if you've already made your money on something too, and you've already got what you want, you can bring them to those type of places, and you can start to have them auction them off for you, and just whatever you get, you get. Or I bring stuff back here to my warehouse, and once a month or once every other month, we have a sale out here, and we just liquidate all of our returns. And we don't care if we get cost or a little bit below cost, because that money coming back to us is something that we can reinvest in something else.
In terms of private label, are you guys creating new products? What's your strategy there?
We are not creating new products, but we're creating new products based on the market. In other words, a lot of people do it the wrong way. The right way is to actually go into the forums, into the groups, and see what people are talking about and what's not on the market and what they would like to see on the market. Then you find a vendor that can make what you're looking at for, that the actual clients or the people in the forums are wanting. And we've done that with several different things. We've had people ask about certain, I wish this was made this way, and it could be something that's on the market already, and we just made it better.
How many
So it's
SKUs do
very
you have
easy.
currently, by the way, in terms of private label?
We probably got less than 50.
Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, that's a lot of private label label items. Um, Go ahead.
And like I said, we probably got less than 50, and we're on track to probably do between $3 and $4 million in private label this year.
I find it's pretty awesome. Like you've started off with, I think it was retail arb, and then you went into wholesale, and then private label, and then along the way you've had all these warehouses, and you've leveraged them into another business, which is becoming potentially more successful than your private label businesses. Is that kind of on point?
I think what I like about it is it's been able to free up my time, because Jim, which I know you had on your show, he's a good friend of mine. I've known him since the 90s.
He's very well spoken. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and he basically told me I'm part of his mastermind group, which he only had one mastermind group, and I'm part of that. And he basically told me that I needed to start outsourcing. And once I started outsourcing everything and started trusting people in my warehouses, as far as managers, office people, with my Amazon business, with private label, with a lot of things that I've done, it's been able to free me up to do the things I like doing, which is what you're doing. That's why I started Pro Seller Talk and have people on my webinar show, is because I really enjoy doing that. I like bringing value to people out there in the marketplace. I want to bring guests like yourself and other people that can actually help others and maybe make a difference in this world. That's my mission now, is to see what I can get done and how many people I can help, how many of God's children I can help before I leave this great earth. So that's what Jim brought to me, is the Christian side of it, and also the side that basically, once you start outsourcing, that's when you're going to explode. And, right now I probably got maybe 14 different types of income streams because of Jim Cochran and because of him telling me what I needed to do. I mean, there's some I don't have anymore that I had, but I have one of them.
I heard somewhere if you have 7 different income streams, there's a high potential possibility that you'll become a millionaire. But you already are one, so you actually doubled that with, was it 12?
Well, here's the other thing too, and that's a myth. Just because you're doing, and I want people to understand this, because a lot of people don't talk about this, and I think you got to be honest and let the people out there know. Just because we're selling millions doesn't mean we're a millionaire. It depends on the margins you're working on. Depends on
businesses. Today's sponsor is amzsecrets.com, Keyword King, a new tool inside of our VIP platform that allows our community to create the most powerful, relevant keyword combinations while filling the 5,000 character allowable in your Amazon backend, thus giving you more relevant traffic and ultimately more sales per day. And also, a big announcement coming soon.
A lot of different things. We take in a lot of money, but we reinvest it back into our businesses pretty heavily. That's how we continue to grow. That's how our fulfillment center is probably one of the state-of-the-art ones, where we make our own bubble for Amazon's boxes that demand to be, the boxes have to be bubble lined. We make our own bubble for the boxes. We have our own boxes made. We have a lot of different things. We have bagging machines that make our own bags. I mean, we've invested a lot of money into this business to give our clients the best possible chance of getting the inventory to Amazon without damage.
All right, you've opened up
So it's
a whole amount of questions. All right, let's slow you down. Okay, what tasks do you outsource currently? And let's try to get into detail, because I'm always looking for more ways to outsource my business. I think I have at least 20 different contractors right now, but
right.
I definitely want to enhance either what they do or add to that, because there's so much stuff going on. I'm sure you feel overwhelmed some days just because the number of tasks that add up on your list to do. So what do you outsource?
Well, we outsource our payroll, our accounting. I mean, we outsource a lot of different things. I outsource my software. I have a software developing team that develops my software for me when we need it. You know, we keep adding different things to it as we keep going along. Like Amazon has this new box count thing where you got to put things in boxes. We're getting ready to roll that out into our software real soon here. We're actually talking about this week because we know Amazon's going to require it in November. So there's a lot of things I outsource. I outsource people to find me guests for my pro seller talk. To find me guests for my Ask the Expert on my inventory team site. I mean, there's not too much I don't outsource anymore. I only do what I want to do now, and basically that's get on the webinar and talk to people and try to help people any way I can. I even outsource my wholesale and my closeout stuff. If there's lists that the vendors are sending me, I have people that go through them and scan and make sure it's a good fit for my networks, because I have my co-op too that I have in my WhatsApp group. That's another thing. I tell you, I have a lot of different things. And the co-op is a real brilliant thing, because we bring product in there from not just me, but from other sellers that allow people to buy things in groups and can actually afford to be able to buy them.
Very cool. Okay, so that's a lot of stuff. Payroll and accountant. I actually don't have that outsourced at the moment. What are you specifically doing for that?
I just have a CPA that takes care of everything for us.
Very awesome. I gotta definitely do that. I don't want to get in trouble with taxes and stuff.
But the other thing you asked me about when I first started out, and I didn't go into that as much as I should have, is in the first warehouse. You said if somebody was going to start out. Well, the first thing you do when someone's going to start out is you got your family members that you can trust and they're going to work. And the second thing you can do that we did, and we still do now, is there's a process that you can scan the people that are coming in and actually qualify them through temp services. So we use temp services and go through the process of having them here through the temp service, and if it works out, then they become part of our staff. So you can literally tap into temp services. So
that's actually a good idea. Yeah.
You're not paying workman's comp and everything else up front that the temp service does in the beginning, until you actually find people that make sense and then they're going to work for your organization and be a win-win for you. So
I remember back in the day when I had a real job, I was actually a contractor for a business because they didn't want to pay health and benefits and all that stuff, which is strategic from that point of view. How many people do you have in your warehouse currently?
We have anywhere from 11 to 20. It depends on the time of the year.
Okay.
But again, because of we don't
Okay.
have to have a huge staff for the simple reason is the software without that back and forth information coming from the client where you got to get how many boxes or labels or which warehouses it's going to. Without that back and forth email communication, it really speeds up the process for us to be able to go into the software, figure out what needs to be done, what clients have their information in there, and just do what we have to do.
I got you. So they enter all that information and they upload their box labels and how many boxes they have come into your warehouse, and then
No, they don't do any of that.
they don't.
No, that all they got to do is upload the MSKU from the Amazon account. Once they take the MSKU and carry it over to our software and put the quantity that they have coming, that's it. We do everything as far as the labels, the box count, the warehouse it's going to. My software takes care of all of that.
Baller. No. All right, that's awesome. Okay, so I think we covered most of the virtual, or not the virtual, so just the outsourcing area. Even the software side, you don't have. I was thinking you had an internal team just because, they have to see what's going on in the warehouse and try to do some optimization efficiencies there. But are they like overseas?
I have some that are in Arizona and some that are in Mexico.
That's cool. Okay.
And they've been with me from when I had the 5,000 square foot warehouse. So we've kind of worked and grown together to kind of, the one thing about having a good software team is they understand the concept of what you're looking for, and they're able to adapt on a dime of being able to adjust and put the things in place that you need.
In terms of, I know you were mentioning that you had a machine that does your bagging and the box and the bubble box. Is that correct?
Right.
You probably could sell the bubble boxes. I've never seen any bubble boxes. Have you? Well, you probably know.
I don't know if I've ever seen them out there.
It's like an invention. All right. Go ahead.
It just lines the boxes for us.
Yeah.
With bubble. And I mean, when I talk line, I'm talking all four sides and the bottom and the top too so that it's protected all the way at all corners.
Out of curiosity, how much does a bagging machine cost?
They're up there. I mean, it's thousands of dollars. I can tell you probably $40,000, $60,000.
Because I was actually looking for a bagging machine, but all of the websites is like you have to insert your email. It's like a lead gen form, and I didn't really want to bother with that.
Yeah, and a lot of it depends on what kind of volume you're doing. I mean, we do so many that we need to have the machines that we have.
Yeah, understandably.
I mean, we go through rolls of bubble that the bubble costs hundreds of dollars to use it, and this bubble's being made. This is not prefab stuff you get in Walmart or buy the bubble's already made. This is the best bubble on the market that's very firm. It's not that stuff. And the other thing about our bubble that stands out more so than a lot of other fulfillment centers that use bubble is if they're buying it from Uline or places like that, is that our bubble is very, very firm, and it doesn't lose its air for a long time. So that's important when it sits in an Amazon warehouse.
It just sounds funny. That's why I'm not sorry. You're right. That's cool. It is important.
It's important when it sits in an Amazon warehouse for a couple of months, and then it's shipped out to a client. Mm-hmm. You want that product in that presentation to be there. You don't want them to get a product with deflated bubble.
Yeah. I was just thinking, I was like, if I pull that Xer out, my bubble is the best. Okay, so in terms of, let's talk more about what you do with your private label. How are you packaging your units? What type of techniques, I guess, are you doing?
It depends on what we're doing. I mean, sometimes it's just labeling. Sometimes we got to bubble things. I mean, but everything, again, it's all boxed and it's all prepped according to Amazon guidelines. We don't cut corners, and I think that's the one thing that I've stayed true to, is that everything is protected in those boxes. I mean, we make sure that I go through rows and rows and rows of making bubble. I mean, it's just unbelievable how much I spend on. I could spend $4,000 in a month on bubble.
Wow, that's a lot of bubble.
But it's, because of our reputation and what we've got out there and how we take and make sure that everything that we do is going to not only protect us, but also make sure that the client has no issues when it gets to Amazon. But I mean, private label, yeah. There's different types of private label too. There's private label the easy way, and there's private label the hard way. We do a little bit of both. Private label the easy way is real simple. Is you contact a manufacturer, you say, hey, listen, I like this bedspread you have. Do you do any private labeling? And they say, yeah, what do you have in mind? I say, well, can I take your insert out and put my own insert out and put my insert in there? And so sometimes you can even get them to do it for you. They'll get the insert and put it in there and actually ship it to Amazon for you. And we have both. We have manufacturers that ship direct to Amazon for us, and then we have them that come to our fulfillment center that we fulfill and do all the prepping here. But I mean, getting into private label the easy way is not too difficult. I mean, it's just a matter of contacting a manufacturer and say, hey, listen, do you private label, and do you mind if I take your insert out and put mine in? And they don't really care because it's still their product, and you're just giving them another avenue to sell something that they didn't have.
Interesting.
And then, of course, then there's private label the hard way, where you do all the research. You got to find out, what people are asking for. You got to do the giveaways. You got to do the advertising. I mean, there's a lot of things, and you got to do it the right way on Amazon and get the reviews the right way. Don't go getting reviews just to get reviews. Get reviews that are honest ones that are going to be out there, because honest reviews are what people want to see. They want to see that, yeah, this product has an issue, or this product. And that's the other thing with this new Google extension that my son created with his partner, the review thing. It actually tells you, it'll go in and pick out certain things within the review that people say as far as what's bad with the product, or the keywords that are working for the product and stuff like that, the ones that you can use for keyword search. It's huge. It's a time saver, big time.
I see. So you would take all that negative feedback and build that into a new product. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, you could do that. You can find that out instantly, but you could also find out what keywords are being used in the reviews, so you can use those keywords and help you get more traffic.
That would actually be kind of cool if you could import that into Keyword King. I'm not sure if you're,
I've heard of,
yeah.
I've heard of it.
Okay. So, what do you do in terms of marketing and such?
As far as for my fulfillment center?
No. In terms of your private label products.
We sell them on Amazon. We're going to be selling them in Walmart and other places. We sell on eBay and just other places. I mean, we could sell them. We sell them around here, and a lot of people forget about brick and mortar stores, and brick and mortar stores don't get the items a lot of times that you're able to offer to them. So you got to remember, when you're building a business, don't use Amazon as a platform. Amazon is not the god to win it all. Amazon is just a platform to help you get exposure so that you can sell on your own website and sell on other areas. And the great thing about private label is when you put private label on Amazon, guess what? If you have a website, inside that private label, you can put your website, and you could say, they open that up when they get it home. They're going to say, hey, he's got a website, and check it out. If you got products there, you're taking traffic from Amazon now and bring it to your own website.
Yeah. And technically, you're not, Amazon doesn't really want that to happen, but if you're the manufacturer of that product, pretty much every brand does that, so.
Yeah, I mean, look at Fisher-Price or Hasbro or any of those type of products, name brand products. They all have their websites on them. If you're the manufacturer, Amazon's not going to say that.
You can't. It doesn't make sense. Okay, so are you going to continue doing private label, or are you thinking about expanding the fulfillment center even bigger?
I think what I want to do eventually is
what are your plans?
My plans are to grow the fulfillment center.
Yeah, I can tell you're very passionate about the fulfillment center.
Yeah, my plans are I'm very passionate about helping people.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. It's not just about the fulfillment center, but I think that my goal for 2017 is I spoke all over the country before I had a heart attack back in November. I spoke at ASD a couple times. I had my own event out in Vegas. I spoke at Jim Corcoran's conferences a couple years in a row. I spoke at a lot of different places, and I really liked it. I like getting out there and letting people know. And I'm not afraid to say that a guy who didn't go to college can do what I'm doing.
Dude, I actually find my college degree pointless. I mean,
I'm not saying that. I mean, college is good, and I'm not knocking college, but I'm saying when the internet decided to explode to the way it is today,
it's a different ecosystem now. It
is.
The people that are in it, yeah.
Even a lot of colleges are adjusting because of it.
The people that are in this ecosystem can see the landscape changing drastically. Mainly because the typical person that works in America was the average salary, like 50,000. And now from your viewpoint, that's a very small amount, a very small number. So, and with my degree that I have an engineering degree. I mean, the amount you would make per year is 50 to 100K a year. And I find that as like a small number now. So it's the landscape has changed. When I was in engineering school, I saw that paycheck was going to be awesome. But now I see, you've got the unlimited amount of money that you can make per year. So,
yeah.
And plus it's fun building brands that you connect with customers and creating that type of ecosystem. So, okay, so you said you were going to start selling in Walmart. Let's talk about that. And I don't know if you've heard about the Jet acquisition that Walmart did.
Yeah, anybody that's in this business and you pay attention to what's going on, that's how you grow too as an entrepreneur, is to kind of know your surroundings. And yeah, Jet and Walmart's combination thing that they're doing, I'm curious to see where that goes. But that's, I think Walmart's answer to that. I mean, Amazon's answer to that was, let's get some planes out here and beat them to the punch. So get their own planes.
Dude, Amazon's going nuts. They have planes, and now they have shipping freight containers.
Yeah, and they have their own trucking fleet. They have like 4,000 trucks.
Do you think it ever gets to the point where it's just too massive for one organization to control?
Well, the scary part of it is, what if it ever gets to the point where Amazon says we no longer need third-party sellers? That we're going to let the big boys come in and sell their stuff on our platforms now. Why do we need sellers?
It's possible. I think most of the growth, though, is from, I don't know the specific stat, but most of the growth is coming from the new private label brands that are coming into their, that was a lot of their growth in the past year. So,
well, the new private label that's coming in is also helping them with their marketing, because now Amazon is getting heavily into, especially this year, they've gotten more and more into the private labeling, and they're using our marketing as what we're doing as sellers, putting the stuff out there. They're seeing these brands and seeing how well they do, and now they're coming out and making their own brand off of it. They're getting a spin-off. So we're actually helping Amazon with saving money on their marketing.
Definitely. The funny thing is, we all technically work for another business, Amazon. And we're in like this, sometimes we forget that Amazon is a business in itself. It's just so big that, we don't really consider it as a business. It's more like a government. I don't know.
Yeah, I call Amazon's not a business. You don't have a business. You have a selling platform. That's all it is. The selling platform. It's not a business. You can't count it as a business. You count it as a selling platform. And you count it as a launching pad to get you to where you want to go on other selling platforms. You need to have multiple streams of income to be able to survive. And I tell people this all the time when I have conversations with them. If Amazon decided to suspend you tomorrow and not let you back on, what would that do to you financially?
I'll let people think on that. Let's not say anything for a second. Okay, besides Amazon and besides eBay, what platforms would you recommend sellers to go on?
I think Jet.com. I mean, especially, I'm going to be real curious to see what Walmart does with that. But I think Walmart, having the backing of Walmart,
I think so too. I think
that could be a very good thing.
The other, go ahead.
I think they should also be looking at the other platforms on Amazon, like Canada and the UK. I mean, both of those platforms, especially Canada, is very new. That's going to explode in probably the next 5 years. So there's a lot of, and I think you don't be afraid to get your own website and get out there and market. And then if you're buying stuff wholesale or closeouts, you keep in mind that these brick and mortar mom and pop stores do not get the options that you get. They do not get the chance to sometimes even leave their stores, and sometimes the reps don't even go out there because it's too far for them to go. Excuse me.
It's okay.
So it opens up a lot of avenues for you to be able to market to those smaller people too.
The funny thing is, there's so many channels that you could sell your product on. It's like, which one do I sell on? Let's talk. You're like the warehouse guru. Let's talk about international shipping. Let's say I have a website, my own website, and I get an order from Canada or UK. What do you do in that sense?
Basically the same thing. I mean, you basically send us now. You can't go to the software yet. We don't have it set up for international yet. That's coming too in the near future. But you basically do it through email process. Let us know what's sold. We'd have to get back to you. You'd get us the label and shipping label, and you take care of the customs through Amazon's partner thing that they have set up. And we just slap it on there with the bill of lading and the
What is the typical cost? Let's say if it was like a 1 pound product to ship to Canada from the U.S. or to the U.K.
UK can be expensive. I mean, it really depends on what you're doing. If you're doing DHL or UPS or FedEx, I mean, if you're doing it by air, you never want to be, I mean, samples okay, but probably 1 pound package could cost you as much as, because we get samples for private label all the time, it could cost you $50, $75. That's why to get test products, when you're testing for private label, that's okay. But once you got products that you need to go, if you're going to be wanting to sell from the UK or any of those international platforms, you need to buy large quantities so that
I'm actually,
shipping costs.
I'm sorry, I might have made that. I'm actually talking about, like, let's say a customer buys from your website. Right now I found the best way to actually ship from like the US to a customer in the UK costs, I use eBay as my international shipping partner. But do you directly ship to customers?
We do, but our clients take care of the shipping. We don't do any.
Okay.
We don't get into any of that shipping. I mean, we have people that ship to our warehouse pallets and pallets from China, and they pay the customs and they pay the duties and things like that. Because we did in the beginning handle that, but it can get real old when you start handling things like that. And you got $10,000 in duties that's got to be owed, and these people never, they had to come here, you shipped, and you never hear from them again, and then you're out that money. So we said, no, we're not going to do that anymore.
Okay, John. We have about 10 minutes left. Is there anything that I left out? I know I did, but what do you...
Well, there's one last thing I want to talk to. I'm going to put the website up here. This is a new project that I'm working out with my software developer.
Okay.
This is something we're very, very excited about. To build a piece of software like what I have for my warehouse, or any kind of, even a Chrome extension, a good one's going to cost you $3,000 to $5,000. If it's done really, really well. So what we've done is we've built a team, which is a crowdsourcing software project. I don't know if you've heard of this. You've heard of crowdsourcing. Everybody's heard of crowdsourcing. So what we've done is we're charging a yearly fee. We're looking for 100 to 200 people. We've already started filling a lot of slots. And you're actually going to own a license to be able to use the software for a year. And now what that is put our heads together and we figure out what's not out there on the market as far as that we feel that would benefit our businesses, that we can all do a co-op joint venture in, or what's out there that maybe you don't want to have 7 different apps to get to, that you'd like to combine it into one to make your application a lot more efficient than what it is now. So I'm very, very excited about this project. I think it has and the other great thing about this project, it is a yearly membership that you pay, but it also, when we bring it to market, which we will, and we sell it on the market, you are going to get a share of those proceeds for whatever we sell it for.
Oh, cool.
So it's a great, great proposition that no one's out here is doing this. It's something that I wanted to do for a very long time because, yes, we could build the software pieces and we could charge a monthly membership or we could charge a yearly membership. But how cool is it to be part of something that when it goes to market, not only do you get to use it and have a license for it for the year, but you're also going to have access to be able to make money off the profit sharing end of it when we bring it to market.
It's kind of like paying equity into the company,
Yep, it's a different thing. And I'm going to post a link here to it. It's a crowdsourcing thing. You'll see it.
Well, I'll put it in the show notes for people to see.
Okay.
When the post, just make sure you send it to me.
I did. I also put my inventory team one, my pro seller. I just put some links there if people want to follow, what I'm doing, the pro seller talk and things like that. Like I said, you asked me ultimately, kind of, am I going to grow the fulfillment side? I think ultimately I want to get more into the travel and going around and just encouraging people that if I can do this, you can do this. And, there's a story. I put a book out with Ryan Rieger called Beyond Arbitrage. And it tells about me being raised with an alcoholic father and some of the things I had to go through when I was a kid. And I really think that part of what I do and sharing the stories. A lot of people don't like to share their stories. It's very difficult to share things that are personal to you, but I think those are the things that make you more of a person, and people become more interested in what you're doing and understand maybe they're going through the same type of situation and they can relate to it, and it can make a difference in their life. And that's kind of where I'm going with this is I want to do the pro seller talk, and I want to do my Ask the Expert, and I want to travel and speak at conventions and just enjoy my life helping as many people as I can. I don't want to be behind the product side all the time. I really think my niche is with people and helping people and being able to change their lives and make a difference. And I think, there's a few of us out there like that, and I just think that's an awesome goal. I really think I found a vision and what God's purpose is for me. So that's kind of where I'm heading in the long term, but in the short term, I've got all these things going.
There's always a lot of stuff going on. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show, John. It's been definitely a lot of expertise and golden nuggets throughout the show. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, and thanks for having me.
Dave Aladdin and John Bullard Sr. out. Sponsor is AMZ Secrets Keyword King. What if you could sell 10 more units per day on Amazon, or 100 more units per day? The key to selling more on Amazon is driving more traffic to your Amazon listing that's related to your listing. Reviews help, yes. Quality photos help, yes. However, increasing relevant traffic is king. The only way to sell 100 more units per day is having at least 100 more people visit your listing per day. Keyword King leverages smart algorithms to assist you in building the best keyword lists for all your products. Not only will you hit 5,000 characters total and 1,000 characters per line in the back end for your Amazon listing, you will do so knowingly with the best combination of words. Right now, you might have 3,000 characters filled up, and that's pretty darn good. But you really don't know for sure, and you should actually be at 5,000 characters. It's tiring, time-consuming, and cramped in Amazon's back end. Keyword King performs many tasks on the fly, live, while you are building your list, and ensures your list is as powerful as can be. It intelligently eliminates spaces, duplicate keywords, and other negative things that would hurt your sales. You can save an infinite amount of keyword lists, return to them later, and compare which lists are performing best for your products. Best of all, it allows for a one-click translation of your first and second rows to your fourth and fifth rows in Spanish. Over 55 million potential U.S. shoppers are Hispanic in the U.S., and they type directly into Amazon in Spanish. These keywords are often untargeted and easy sales to add to your bottom line. It does this all while applying smart keyword cleaning algorithm. In the end, organic traffic to your listing is free. Getting free high-quality traffic is the way to build sustainable, long-term Amazon businesses. Keyword King will destroy your competition using amzsecrets.com. Guys, I hope you guys loved the podcast as I did. Be sure to join our Facebook Mastermind secret group at amzsecrets.com/FB. It would help tremendously. Also, if you could leave a quick review on iTunes. Every question has an answer for Amazon, and finding the right one is critical to your success. amzsecrets.com does this, and it does it all for free. So why not? See you guys all there. This podcast has been directed by David Aladdin, a global king in logistics, strategy, and secrets. David Aladdin, out.